Hello and welcome back to the HT Auto channel as we return to sunny Goa to test drive a car that is perhaps more electric than any other from Tata Motors. Yes, the Tiago EV is all set to join its siblings the Nexon and the Tigor EV in the Indian car market. Its biggest claim to fame, of course, is its affordable price tag, but it is also making quite a lot of other big promises as well. I'm your host Shubhadeep, and this is the first in-depth drive review of the Tiago EV. In terms of proportions and the overall sellout, the Tiago EV obviously is identical to its ICE counterpart. But look closer and there are certain very unique elements on the EV version. The Tiago EV is offered in 5 distinct color options. These include 2 shades of blue. The one that you see here is the teal blue. The other is a tropical blue shade. The other color options are grey, white and a shade of purple. But while having multiple color options on the Tiago EV is a definite plus, there are some elements, of course, which are unique to the EV version and across all the variants of this car. Front up, there is that closed front grille which we are getting accustomed to see on electric cars in the Indian market and markets overall. You get the EV badge right at the front, an underlining statement that this is powered by battery. Flanking this closed front grille are 2 sleek headlight units. And the scooped bonnet is of course a reminder of the Tiago that we've seen for several years. Over at the side, this car stands on 18-inch wheels. The dual-tone wheel cap design looks quite unique and appealing from even a distance. There is an EV badge again on the side, and the Tiago EV lettering all the way at the back is also quite prominent. There is a rear view camera which is prominently positioned, and just above it is a button. The press of this button and the boot space opens up. There is enough boot space for 2 small bags, which means a weekend getaway, assuming that the range allows for it, should be an easy prospect for the Tiago EV. Thumbs up to Tata Motors for equipping all variants of the Tiago EV with certain feature highlights. Like for example, all variants of the Tiago EV get a fully automatic climate control. Automatic transmission, of course, is standard because this is an electric car. And you also get Z Connect telematics, which is a first for the segment that Tiago competes in. The Tiago EV also comes with a large main infotainment screen, an all-digital driver display, 2-speaker plus 2-tweeter sound system, cruise control, flat bottom steering with mounted controls. Among the misses though are no Type-C charging points, there is no driver armrest, and a sunroof would have given it a big bragging right. But does the Tiago EV reserve its biggest bragging rights in its drive trade? Tiago EV comes in medium and long range versions. In the medium, the trims are XT and XE. On the long range, it's the XT, XZ Plus and XZ Plus Lux tech. Yes, it can be quite a tongue twister, but we'll keep this drive bit quite simple and basic. This one, the car that we're driving, is the top-end version and it's the long-range version, which means this one comes with the 24 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The other medium-range one gets a 19 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Now, the range, of course, on the long-range version is claimed to be around 315 kilometers. But like I keep saying every time I drive an EV, much of the range depends on various factors like climate, drive terrain, your drive traits, and so on and so forth. We've been driving this car for nearly 100 kilometers now, and we feel that the real world range should be around the 250 mark. Again, will vary from person to person and location to location. Through the course of our drive since morning, we've been pushing the Tiago EV pretty hard, so most of our drive has been in the regular city drive mode, but we've also pressed the throttle aggressively, tested this car out in the sport mode as well, and yes, these are the 2 drive modes that are available, the city and the sport mode. In the sport mode, the Tiago EV is extremely peppy. It has a nice youthful spirit to it. The company claims that 0 to 60 comes up in a little over 5 seconds, and while that perhaps is true, for all practical purposes, you mostly drive this in city conditions and therefore in the regular sedate city drive mode. In the regular city drive mode, when you push the throttle, there is that instant torque effect that you do feel, and that is quite scrumptious. Of course, it goes up in the sport mode, but the triple digit mark comes up relatively easy regardless of which mode you select. This is, of course, a battery powered vehicle, so there is no engine noise whatsoever. The NVH levels otherwise are sort of par for the course as well. The proportions of the Tiago has always made it a perfect car for city traffic conditions, which means that the electric version continues to be quite a good nifty handler on city roads. But the suspension on this unit continues to be a little too jumpy for my liking. On speed breakers and broken roads here in Goa, I felt myself being pushed around a little too much, especially when I was being aggressive. It was a reminder for me to scale it down a little bit for a more comfortable experience. But overall, the suspension units the setup could have been tuned a little bit on the stiffer side for a more comfortable experience. I've had a whole lot of fun driving the Tiago EV here in Goa, but now it's really time to pack up and head back to the beach where we started this video from. As India's first sub-rupees 10 lakh electric car, the Tiago EV's pricing still is the biggest attraction for potential buyers. But beyond the pricing, this car is very well kitted in terms of features, it's reasonably fun to drive, and continues to have as much space as the Tiago has always had. What do you make of the latest electric car from Tata Motors? Do let us know. In this episode though, that's all the time we have. As always, stay safe, drive safe.